Good day, YouTube. Today I want to talk about using the VA home loan, something that I did in 2003. I used my VA home loan, which means that I didn't give any money down, any down payment. The other good thing about the VA home loan is that I didn't have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance, which we had another property, an investment property at one time, and I had to pay the PMI. So that's going to range about $75 a month or so. It's going to depend on the entire loan. And that's the benefit of the VA home loan. The best thing that you can do is go online to the VA website. I'm not the expert. I'm just going to share with you my experience. Go to the VA website. If you're active duty, you'll qualify for that. If you're a reservist, I believe it's going to be, you have to have 6 years of service or 90 days on orders as a reservist. And unfortunately, the basic training time and tech school does not count. So if you're a reservist or guard, find a way to get on orders, Title 10 orders for 90 days minimum, and that'll qualify you for the VA home loan. The reason I know that is because a friend of mine joined a year ago, and he's a reservist, but he has not been on 90 days of active duty time. So he does not qualify for the VA home loan right now. And if he wanted to buy a house, he'd have to put money down. So when I bought this house in 2003, we put no money down. We used the VA home loan. It was a very easy process. Here's what I would recommend, because I was a financial counselor at one point. That's expired, so I'm not a financial counselor anymore. I just speak from my experience. When you're active duty and you're going to be moving often, I would say be very careful about buying a home. That's me, because as a financial counselor in the past, if you want to buy a house as a military service member, especially active duty, piece of cake. You pick from your realtors and they will show you all the houses that you want to see. You pick one, they make their commission, and that relationship in most cases is done, closed, they move on to the next customer. I would have to deal with the individual who is going to PCS, permanent change of station, or now they have this house. Let's say it's this house here, but so they have a connection here if they can't sell it. Buying a house is easy. Selling a house, you're going to come out of pocket with either closing costs and realtor fees as well. So it's very easy to buy a house and you will come out of pocket. The best thing that you can do, in my opinion, is this. If you're going to be active duty for a long period of time, and you want to use your VA home loan in the future, that's fine, but start putting money aside. Why do I say that? That way, when you buy a house, you can put $50,000 or pay it in full, or depends when you buy it, of course, and how much money you put aside. And the reason is because interest adds up a lot. So interest is, let's say you buy a house for $200,000. By the time you pay interest, I'm going to make up a number, ballpark figure, maybe it's closer to $400,000 on a 30-year loan. So that's my input is put money aside for a property, for a down payment. That way you can finance less. Maybe you don't even have to use your VA home loan, but if you want to, you can, and that's an option. I did. My plan is this: in 2016, we owe $39,000 on this home, and you've probably seen it before. And that's my pug, Molly Bryant. $39,000 home, but our goal is to sell this house this year and move into our retirement home. And this house, let's say it's appraised or valued at about $200,000 right now. Let's just say we have $150,000 that will cash out and put all of it into the next house. And I still have my emergency fund. That way we can get the house that we want and at the same time finance less. That's what I would tell an individual who's going to be active duty for a very long time, is to put money aside. When it's time for you to find your retirement home or where you're going to settle down, put a lot of that money down. You get your pension every month, your medical benefits, and maybe you have a mortgage for 5 or 10 years and that's it. So that's what I would do. I'm 44 years now. That's what I would do if I was coming into the service as an 18, 19, 20, 24-year-old, is be very proactive. And when I retire from my workforce civilian, whether it's my active duty tour that I'm on right now or my federal Air Force job, I'm going to retire. I'm going to just do whatever it is that I want to do, whether it's volunteer, maybe teach at night, travel, whatever it is that I want to do. That's the plan, of course, but life happens. Have a plan B. Go on to the VA website. They are the experts. They have all of the requirements that are needed for someone to qualify for a VA home loan. You take care.